All right, and we are rolling. Hello, everyone. Matthiessen Nisch, Quan here. Welcome back. Drum lesson number 3. Having a lot of fun making these. I think people like them. I'm going to go ahead and tell myself that people like them. Make myself feel better overall. But, realistically, I'm having a good time. So that's all that matters. Who cares what people think? That is a good that's a good way. That's a good that is a good. That is a good. Think about that. But anyways, we are back with another drum lesson. This week I have a Devon Taylor lick for everyone here. No one's here for everyone on the internet, wherever you're watching this. I hesitate to name this lesson what I named this because I don't want these lesson videos to turn into just a clickbait fart fest. I don't want it to be learn how to sound like Devon Taylor. That's not my point at all. This is honestly just stuff I've been working on in my practice, and just figured I would share it with everyone to try to help everyone on their journey. We're all in the same boat. We're all drummers. Maybe you're not a drummer. Maybe you want to be a drummer. Maybe you're a plumber or a old-timey blacksmith, and you just want to learn about Devon Taylor licks. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. So if you don't know who Devon Taylor is, he's one of the most killing drummers out there right now. He's about to go on tour with Justin Bieber. He's been Justin Bieber's drummer for a long time. And Justin Bieber is back, with the worst mustache I've ever seen in my life. But he's making his money, so I guess I should maybe just grow a mustache. I think that's the moral of that story. But yeah, Devon is one of the best drummers out there. He's one of my favorites. And about 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing a series just called Transcription Tuesdays. I think a lot of people do those. I was trying to do them every Tuesday. Got a little burnout on them, I haven't done one of them in a while, but I did probably 3 or 4 Devon Taylor transcriptions. One of the things that I learned while doing those transcriptions is that everything that he plays is very even. It's very in time. You don't get lost in the time. There's not a lot of oh God, where are we? Where's beat 1 going to be? I think that everything he plays is very concise. It either has a 2 and the 4 in it a lot of the times, or it has something that's referencing the beat or the pulse. He just makes it very easy to follow his fills and to follow his playing. And that's even in a live setting as well. You can watch videos of him playing with Justin or wherever, all over YouTube, and the fills that he's playing in a live setting in an arena are very appropriate. They're concise, they're even, it just makes a lot of sense. There's no discrepancy as to the idea he's going for or where the beat is or anything like that. That was one of the main things I took away from him, and I didn't realize it for a while until I kind of got deep into those transcriptions that is sort of an idiom of his playing, which I really, really dig. So the lick that I have today is something in that vein. It's a triplet lick, a sextuplet lick, rather, because I've still been thinking a lot about triplets. So this lick is a sextuplet lick. One of the cool things about this lick is that the hi-hat is played on every downbeat. And I think that sort of is idiosyncratic to Devon's playing, where you can still feel the pulse. You don't get lost in the fill. But there's some cool sticking stuff that happens underneath it, especially if you get up, raise the tempo a little bit and you're playing a little bit faster. It can sound pretty cool. So just to get right to it, it's just a 6-note phrase, just one sextuplet. It's kick, right, right, left, kick, right, left. And the way I like to phrase it, or orchestrate it rather, and the way that Devon orchestrates it in the video that I transcribed, if I'm remembering correctly, is kick, right, right, left on the snare, right, left. Right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare drum. But again, every downbeat on the hi-hat is played, so after that first kick, when you play that first right, the left hand goes on the hi-hat as well. So it's kick, both hands, right, left, right, left. So the way I like to play it, and the way that Devon plays it and phrases it as well, is that the phrase starts on the third partial of the sextuplet on beat 4. So the kick is played on the third partial, and it's leading into beat 1. So beat 1 will actually be that right hand over on the hi-hat. The orchestration and the way that I phrase it is just one way to do it. You can be creative. There's a million orchestrations. You can do whatever you want. Just play it on your own head. I don't care. Do it. It's anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. But regardless, let's hear what this sounds like slower on just the kick, snare, and hi-hat. So that's the basic idea. Again, that's the way that I transcribed it, and I'm pretty sure the way that Devon plays it on the video. I'll put a link to that video down in the description if you want to check it out. One of the ways that I use this is sort of as a Kickstarter to a fill idea. Again, I think, as I mentioned in my first lesson that I did, I think one of the problems that I certainly have is that when it's time, when I'm in a solo setting, or when it's time to play a fill when I'm on a gig, or if I have a chance on a gig to open up a little bit, especially in triplets for me, is I very stereotypically fall back on the 6-stroke roll or something like that, or just like a right, left idea as far when I'm playing triplets. So one of the cool things you can get from this lick is if you start your solo phrase or you start your fill idea with this sticking pattern, it can sort of open the brain up to new ideas. Your brain will hear the sticking idea, and then something else will come out of it. It won't hear, okay, you did your super stereotypical 6-stroke roll lick, and then your brain sort of auto-fills the rest of the lick because it just knows what it wants to hear. So that can be a cool thing to use this lick with, is that sort of start your phrase with this new idea, the brain sort of opens up and wants to hear, is just open to new ideas, and then who knows what might happen. And the same thing too, if you're in the middle of a solo phrase, sort of throw this in there, and then again now you sort of started this new tangent of ideas as far as the phrase is concerned. So I'm just going to play around with it a little bit and see what ideas sort of happen with starting the phrase with this lick. Maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't be, but that's honestly, excuse me. We're using this in a practice setting right now, and the point is to sort of find new ideas under your hands and get new ideas orally into your brain. So let's just play around with this idea and see what happens. Alrighty, cool. So that was just how that sticking pattern, that idea, can sort of spark some new ideas orally and just within your head, which was definitely happening to me. I know it's obviously probably hard to tell, but even, again, just orally, when I would switch something over to the floor tom, or you would just hear something in a different way, it was just sparking new ideas for me to just to think a different way about the fill or take it a different direction because of what I had heard and what I was thinking. So definitely a useful exercise, and I think that this particular lick can be a sort of a good way to sort of jumpstart a different idea for everyone out there who's looking for some new ideas for a new jumpstart. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully this was helpful to you. This can on gigs or in your practice. Hopefully I'll keep making these, and now I've said hopefully too many times, and now I feel weird. So we'll see you next time.